I gotta turn the fan back on here, but I figure I'll explain what's going on here first, and then I can make all the noise and turn down the audio. Anyway, this is a G20 Infinity rotor, okay, just a factory replacement. And I got lucky this time, there's no removal holes with threads. So, but clocking wise, I'm still gonna drill the holes in the same spot. That way, if the owner wants to drill and tap the holes so they can make it, have jack bolts to remove it, go right ahead. Not something I'm gonna do. It's gonna come in and spot drill the new stud holes, because since it goes over the hub, it's real sloppy on the studs. And about that much of the stud sticks up from underneath, and this is 7/16. This is a little bit bigger. I cut the holes so that it registers very closely to these, and I've showed all this before, so I think I'm going to just keep this fairly quick and simple with just highlighting the steps in the machining and that stuff. So it's going to spot drill, and then it's going to drill, then it's going to come in and open the hole up. Then it'll come in and do a finish pass with a smaller cutter, and it'll go inside each hole and clean those up and cut them to size. Then it'll chamfer the holes, and then I've got my Mari tool, which will come down and come underneath and do a back chamfer, and then it'll come back up and do a chamfer on the top. And I just ran it through, and the last rotor came out perfect, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the rapids back on so this doesn't take as long. Just as a note, I do this for every rotor, because if this outside diameter changes, that shifts the whole rotor and makes that hole off center. So I do go in and find center on every single hole, just in case. I had an issue with that before on rotors, and so I just make a point to do this. So since I know my X is zeroed out now, by going backwards, I could come forward up to here, but by going backwards I can sight and make sure that that hole is still pretty darn close. I'm off maybe 20 thousandths from the center of that hole. I'm going to call it good. I should be able to loosen it up, turn it slightly, tighten it back down, but I don't want a chance of taking it off center and have to go back and redo. So anyway, I still need to find Z. The rotors should all be pretty close together, pretty similar, but just to make sure. Okay. Oh yeah, it's within 1/10,000th of the last one. This is the reason I put new holes in. This is basically the same stud that would be in here. You can see how loose that is. When I machine the holes, look at that. Because about that much sticks up above the hub, and so I make that hole to where it registers to that boss, because the threads are smaller than that shoulder there. So that keeps them nice and aligned, and I don't have to worry about the center hole being perfectly done perfectly. I'm going to go over and add some chamfers to the backside here. And my holes don't have any burrs. We'll see after the chamfer, but the manufacturer, yes, I think there's a big ass lip on that one too, so I got to hit it with Scotch-Brite afterwards just to help cut that out. I do seem to leave a little burr up the sidewall here from this chamfer, cutting that, so maybe I'll change tools and use the smaller chamfer instead of the mill, but that's really all it takes to get rid of that, so maybe not. Just see, like in a couple spots there's just a little there too, and it's not surprising because the cutters on that chamfer mill really aren't that sharp. They're designed for hogging out steel, so. Oh yeah, see? Smooth as butter. A lot of times their front ones here have pretty good burrs on them, so, but this time it's just the back ones. Yeah, and that back chamfer is beautiful, so no worries there. All right, I'm gonna slap this on here real quick just so you can see when it goes on here. All kinds of slop. When it fits down onto the other ones, none. I mean, not even a thou. Perfect. Love that. So, since it costs too much to ship rotors overseas, what I used to do was make stud sleeves that would slip down in here and take up that slop. I encourage, since they have to go get the center hub machined anyway, the center hole opened up, as long as you're having a machinist open the hole up, you might as well have them drill new holes or machine new holes in and go that way. Alright, 2 more rotors to whip out, and I'll be done with these.